You'll give us a thumbs up or?
Yeah. Well, yeah, well, we're good.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hour of 10 o'clock having arrived, we will call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Commissioners, today being Tuesday, December 8, 2020. We welcome all who are present and anybody who might be viewing us over the live stream. We appreciate your taking the time to join us today. Pleased to note that Commissioner Spielvogel is with us.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd is participating as we speak in a regional seminar. He's one of the panelists, and they're doing it virtually, by the way. But two of us constitute a quorum, and we are able to conduct the county's business. One thing I would note, for purposes of public comment, we always have two opportunities for public comment, one at the beginning of the meeting and then prior to adjournment. Normally, Commissioner Boyd takes public comment that could be submitted by way of an email. Today, our County Administrator, Joe Vanasco, has graciously agreed to accept any comments that might be submitted relative to county business. We've noted often that if your concern is with any state matter, that you instead contact your state elected officials, your state senator, your state representative. Same is true if it's a federal concern, that you reach out to your federal legislators. And then if it's a municipal matter, city, borough, or township, that you contact those folks. However, if your concern or question does pertain to county government, you're welcome to submit them to Mr. Vanasco. His email address is the letter J, and then his last name, Vanasco, which is V as in Victor, E, N as in Nebraska, A, S as in San Francisco, C-O, at C-O dot the word Lawrence dot PA.US. And I think I've covered everything. Commissioner Spielvogel, have I forgotten anything to your knowledge?
I think you have it all right there, yes.
Okay, thank you
Yes,
so
you
much.
did. Mhm.
Well, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'd ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. Loretta, would you mind leading us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, we'll have a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Spielvogel?
here.
Commissioner Vogel?
Here. We do have a quorum, and again, we've gone over the necessary steps for public comment. Under row officer reports and comments, none of our row officers are here today. So that does take us to the first of two public comment opportunities. I'll see if Mr. Vanasco has received any.
I have not received any.
Okay, thank you. And again, we'll check back prior to adjournment to see if any public comments have come in to Mr. Vanasco. You know, I'll remind everybody that to a large extent, the courthouse is closed from the standpoint of the public being able to access the building. There are some exceptions to that. Certainly the courts, they do have a means by which emergency matters are being handled and can be handled. And the courts are coordinating that with the sheriff's office as far as access to the building. If someone does have something court-related, they can access the building provided that the courts are aware of it, and the folks at the door will allow that access. The same is true with our Veterans Affairs Office. If someone has a need for assistance, face-to-face assistance with the Veterans Affairs Office, appointments can be made. If you're able to conduct your concerns over the phone or by internet, that would be better. That would be a little more safer, but if you do need to come in face-to-face, that can be arranged. And I believe the same holds true for the Prothonotari's office. The offices are being staffed, but on more or less a rotating basis. We are trying our best to minimize risk, and consequently, a lot of our offices each day may have perhaps definitely one individual staffing, perhaps two, but we're doing that on a rotating basis. The same is true with the three commissioners. We're here. We're trying our best to stay a little bit apart
Stay away
from one
from
another,
each other.
yeah, as best we can, and then even staggering our time here,
Yes.
because the worst thing that could happen would be if perhaps two or all three of us perhaps contracted it. That's the last thing we want to have happen. So we're exercising caution as much as we can. I'm going to move ahead then to fiscal and contractual on the agenda. And the first four documents in our packet would be the warrant registers that are submitted to us by the Controller's Office. They are a listing of checks that have been cut by the Controller's Office, bills that have been paid. And Loretta, I'll give you a few seconds that
Sure.
if you need, and I need it too, just to look over to see where these payments have gone out to.
I had a chance to look a bit before the meeting, and it was good to know that monies did come in from the state for our children and youth services. That we were able to pay down some of the contracts that we do have with agencies and keep them functioning. So that was good. That was good to see.
I appreciate your noting that.
Yes.
Yes, in fact, the next to last page, I believe, has a listing of, not quite, no, it's about maybe the third from the back, does have a listing of a number of those agencies. That is nice to see.
And we're bound by, the state reimbursing monies to the county to pay the billing that we do submit. So that turnaround sometimes is a bit delayed, and we certainly do our best to get everything turned in a timely fashion and manner. And the state has, they have gotten the money back to us, so that was definitely good to see, because I know that several different agencies were waiting, if not all of them, waiting patiently for that. Yes. So I will move to accept the four warrant registers.
Thank you. I will second your motion and make
Okay.
one other comment, and it actually pertains to you a little bit. I was, and I just have, oh, here it is. I did see that a payment was made to the Lawrence County Tourist Promotion Agency. You sit on their board of
Yes,
directors.
Yes.
And, they have been impacted this year because a large part of their revenue comes from the hotel tax. And with fewer people traveling, either for pleasure or business, the amount of money that we're getting through that mechanism has gone down. Now, we were able to assist them with
Yes.
CARES dollars,
Yes.
but, and it's a well-run agency. Janet Filatico, I mean, you've seen it firsthand, but she
Absolutely.
and her staff do a great job, so.
Right, you talk about pivoting and doing things differently and being able to still, maintain the involvement. They're very good, yes.
Well, we do have a motion and a second to accept the warrant registers. By the way, they're dated November 24, November 30, December 1, and December 3. It's been moved and seconded. If there is no other discussion, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. By the way, before I forget, I know that oftentimes Debbie Wachter from the Newcastle News watches us and takes notes for her reporting. Could we, I think last time we scanned and emailed the,
She replied back to me. She said as long as they're posted online,
oh, okay.
then
She'll have access? Okay,
she'll look
okay.
at it that way.
Great. Thank you, Vanessa. We have the minutes of the December 1 meeting in our packet. Loretta, give you a few seconds to look it over, and whenever you're ready, I could take a motion to adopt the minutes.
Again, I did have the opportunity to review, since I was not here last week, quarantining. Everything seems to be in order, nothing stands out. I have a question on, so I will make that motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you. I will
Mhm.
second, and all in favor of adoption of the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Under written communications, we have two documents that have come in over the last week. The first is from the Borough of Wampum, dated November 24, advising us that the borough has applied to the Department of Environmental Protection for the issuance of a national pollutant discharge elimination system for sewage. And the activities referenced will be taking place in the Borough of Wampum. It is signed by Sue Dean, the Borough Secretary Treasurer. The second document comes from the Allegheny Mineral Corporation out of Katanning in Armstrong County, noting that their company proposes to conduct overburden and production blasting in compliance with all state and federal laws at its surface mining operations located in Slippery Rock Township of Lawrence County. Loretta, any concerns or questions with these two documents?
None.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion then to accept them.
So moved.
Thank you. I'll offer the second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, and that motion carries. Thank you. We move down to commissioner reports and comments. Looks like I'm listed to go first today. A couple of housekeeping items. We'll note that at 2 o'clock this afternoon, the board will be reconvening for the purpose of introducing the proposed county's 2021 budget. The state law requires that the budget be introduced and put on public display for a 21-day period. We will, of course, adhere to that as we've always done. The budget will be available here at the commissioner's office. Certainly, we understand with the restrictions to the building, it might be a little more challenging to come in and see it. However, it will be posted on the county's website. So you will have the opportunity to review the budget as it's proposed on the website. That 21-day period will conclude on December 29, 3 weeks from today, at which time it is anticipated that the commissioners will vote on the proposed budget. We do have a little bit of flexibility, again, based on state law, that allows us to make, I'll say minor adjustments to the budget over this 3-week period. We can't make major adjustments, but we can make some movements if we have to. So any comments with respect to the upcoming proposed budget?
No.
And Commissioner Boyd will be here for that
He will
meeting.
be here for
at
this afternoon.
2
Yes, he
o'clock.
will. Yes.
Also, we'll note that as of now, the commissioners do plan to hold our public meetings during the course of the month, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. We will be holding our public meetings as of now at 10 o'clock. Finally, I was very saddened to read about the passing of Dick Allen. Dick Allen was a tremendous athlete, grew up in the Wampum-Chewton area in the southern end of the county, and as many of you know, played Major League Baseball, Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago White Sox during his career. And he passed away just a couple of days ago. Sadly, he was never voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and that's shameful. He deserved to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I will say, however, that the folks in Lawrence County got it right, because when the Lawrence County Historical Society formed the County Sports Hall of Fame way back in 1984, Dick Allen was among the first, I believe, 10 individuals who was entered into the Lawrence County Sport Hall of Fame, and that was very appropriate. He did a lot to make Lawrence County proud of him, and particularly in his home area of Wampum and Chewton and New Beaver, where he grew up, and his mother lived there most of her life as well, Mrs. Ira Allen. So our sympathy goes out to the Allen family for their loss, and we will always have a great deal of pride in the achievements and the accomplishments of Dick Allen. Those are my comments. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Spilvo.
Very few comments, other than, we're in the midst of still a pandemic, and it hits home, as it did for me, for the second time being in direct contact with somebody that tested positive. I just think that we need to, really, really do our best to, continue with the hand washing, using the sanitizer, distancing. We have our masks off and on, keep them on as much as you can, and just do the best that we can to try to get through, and hopefully the vaccines start moving forward. And I'm looking at Jeff Parrish here as our distribution sites. We know we're not there yet or anything, but I know that we are in very good hands as far as Lawrence County goes with Jeff and his staffing, knowing that if and when that time does come, that we will be prepared for that. And just, my sympathies, my heart goes out to those people that have lost family members and friends, and to those, those frontline workers everywhere that continually every day, put themselves at risk to make other people healthier, make them safe. So in essence, if not for your own self, just for somebody else that might be out there that they don't have a choice, but to be at work and tend to the matters that need to be tended to. So let's just all try to do our best and keep each other safe. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along to new business, we have two matters before us to start, falling under both the CYS, Children and Youth Services, and the Juvenile Probation Office. Pat Micco, who is the director of the Juvenile Probation Office, is with us. Pat, would you mind coming up to the chair with the microphone, please? And we appreciate your joining us today. I'm sorry?
I'm not gonna be here long enough to sit.
Whatever you prefer.
You are always welcome
If you
to
wish,
stay and sit.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
whatever's easier for
We
you.
like to
I
joke
don't
with
wanna
you.
block Joe.
That's usually a good thing.
The first proposed resolution would be an agreement with Vocational and Psychological Services of Butler. And one of the things, Pat, is this a contract renewal or is this a new
They're
contract?
both renewals that are coming up. So we've
Okay.
had them for multiple years in a row.
The first being Vocational and Psychological Services. I'm assuming that you, and in consultation with John Bout at CYS, are recommending that we renew our contract with the first one.
Correct. And we've even adapted these to virtual / tele-delivery type services. So they are getting tutoring services or help in their PATS program, even though they're not meeting with them
Right.
directly. So
And would that be applicable then to the second one, which is the Human Service Center of Newcastle?
Very much so. He actually goes out, Joe Carnici does that for us, Human Services Center, and does an excellent job. And he goes out actually to knock on doors when he hasn't been able to make contact or if you don't have the correct equipment. So he's still putting himself out there.
Do we maybe have a minor error here, and it should be Human Services Center? You don't have the document in front of you, I don't think, but it is Human
Human
Services.
Center is a
Okay.
renewal, and that is actually the family reintegration, is what the name of the program is.
Okay, so we'll make note of the correction on our resolution. It should be Human Services Center. Commissioner Spielvogel, do you have questions of Mr. Mika?
No questions, but, always a pleasure to see you. I don't get to see you as much as I used to in the past, but knowing the good work that your agency, that your department does,
I appreciate that.
in very good hands, yes.
Any objection to moving both of these forward for a final vote?
No.
Vanessa, what numbers will we assign them?
First one will be 350.
Okay, and then 351, I'm assuming. All righty, well, Pat, you're certainly welcome to stick around, but if you have to move along, we understand.
The transfer of the funds is something you guys may honor.
That's correct.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
fine
you,
with
I'm
that?
good with it, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye, Vanessa.
Next is our Department of Public Safety. Jeff Parrish, our director, is with us. We welcome you, Jeff. And you have an agreement, a proposed agreement between the county and McCutcheon Enterprises of Apollo, Pennsylvania. They will serve as the Act 165 emergency response emergency contractor, but perhaps you can give us some details about that, please.
Sure. Every county is required to have some type of hazardous materials response, whether it's their own county-sponsored team, funded team, or contracted state certified team. McCutcheon is who we've been contracted with. It's not a real formal contract. It's basically a retainer. What is a $2,500 retainer fee that we give them just to say that we can use them on our plans in the state that we do have a certified response team. And then, of course, anytime that we do call them out, they're only called out with the authorization of the commissioners or myself are the only ones that can actually have them respond. But we don't really use them a whole lot, thank God. Thank goodness. There's,
Right.
with major incidents, but they are always there for a good resource for us. And anytime that we do need them, whenever we're on scene, myself or my deputy Chad, we'll go out and make sure that they are warranted to come out, and we always make sure we have a billable party. If not, then we absorb the bill, the county will absorb the bill, so we make sure when we're out there that if we do call somebody that somebody's responsible and not so much the county. So all it just does is keep them on, like I said, on call for us for the year. They've kept their fee at $2,500. Again, it seems like it's raised, it's gone up in the past couple of years, but it's still a lot cheaper than trying to fund a countywide hazmat team, which is just almost nearly impossible to stay with trying to get volunteers and pay people. So there are some other companies around, but we've had good luck with McCutcheon throughout the years, and they participate in our LPC meetings and everything else that we have. They're good groups. So we just recommend that we just the commissioner sign move forward with that to retain it for next year.
Thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel, do you have questions on this matter?
No questions.
I just have two quick ones. Is it safe to assume that this company, I see they're based over in Armstrong County, do they serve other county public safety departments?
Yes, yeah, they, Mercer County utilizes them as well. Beaver County and Butler County have their own hazmat teams. So they sponsor their own, but they also go up in the northern tier, up in Venango and Warren. And I can't say exactly what kind, because some have changed with the fees and different things. There are some other hazmat teams, cleanup teams that had come in the past couple of years that we're trying. Weavertown's another one that we've used in the past, and they're down around Pittsburgh. We have to have a requirement that somebody's on location within 2 hours.
Mhm.
So that goes into a lot of who we have and who has people available here.
Obviously, you can't have someone from central Pennsylvania or eastern Pennsylvania.
Exactly, and with the abundance several years ago with Marcellus Shale, those
Yes.
companies took a lot of the resources away from us.
Right.
Not so much away from us, but these companies, I mean, they're in it for business, and they kept them quite busy, so it was trying to get the response from them if we need them wasn't where we thought it should be on some companies, but McCutcheon's always come through for us. So.
Thank you. Secondly, and you referenced, and I'm glad you did, you said LEPC. Is that meeting still on for today? Or am I getting my meetings mixed up?
Today's
Today's BOAD.
I'm getting my meetings mixed
Yes,
up. That's
You've
it.
been doing so well, Jim.
Well, that's at 12:30.
Yes,
Are you participating?
Yes.
I may not be able to, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if Commissioner Boyd can
Okay,
get at least one of us there
Right.
if you're able to.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's Zoom.
It's a
Yeah.
Yes,
virtual.
so it's virtual. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
appreciate you doing that.
Let's
And
do that.
as you heard us say, we have a 2:00 meeting. Do you think, well, she'd have to duck out, but
and that's fine, and I don't know how many participants, I mean, we were hoping,
Right,
again, that we could have somewhat of a little
gathering,
gathering, and, but again, it's just for the abundance of caution, we're not even.
absolutely.
We secured our facility several weeks ago.
Right.
And canceled all of our meetings and stuff, and welcome to the virtual world now.
Yep.
Right.
well, thank you both. I
Yeah,
appreciate
sure.
you taking the time to
Sure.
participate in that. We will designate this proposal as Resolution 352, and assuming there's no objection to moving it along. Jeff, you're always welcome to stick around, but if you have to move along, we understand.
I can back up, I don't need, you don't need to hear from my next.
Well, I do see the next one involves the hazard mitigation. Do you have that in front of you?
Yes, sir, yeah,
I mean, let's, since you're here,
okay, that's fine.
this is a budget amendment,
Yes.
where it appears as though, I'll let you explain it
Okay.
if you don't want.
No problem, I can muddle through it, next up. What this is for is our, the hazard mitigation grant, the plan that we received a grant for several years ago that's in the process. It was a total grant amount of $47,000, I believe it was. And the total project was like $57,000. So we are almost completely done with the project. And we have paid several payments to the contractor, the consultant that has wrote the plan. We actually will be approving it. I think we were up for public comment several weeks ago or so. It was open. I think it's now closed. And we will be approving that plan. It's actually going to the state right now, I believe it was, or FEMA also, but for their approval. And then it'll be the first quarter of next year, rather, February or March, so we'll actually bring it to a meeting and be promulgated and everything and put it in place. So what that means is we were not giving any money. We put the funds in our budget for our hazard mitigation plan, and we made, like I said, several payments. And after, like anything else, you have to spend the money to get the money back. So the
Right.
state has now given us the money back. We weren't sure when we were gonna get it due to COVID and everything else.
Right.
A lot of our grant funds aren't normally the way they are. They're coming in later, and we're constantly asking. So anyhow, there was $1,200 left in our budget from the payments that we've made. And we just, again, not sure when we're gonna get reimbursement. We just received it here a couple weeks ago, $20,000 plus. I wanted to put that, we had to put it somewhere, so I wanted to put it back in our budget. But we need to carry that money over into next year also, our $1,200 that was left.
Right,
And then that,
yes.
so that, because we have one more final payment left. We just wanted, Commissioner Boyd, when I asked him about it, because it wasn't in our budget, the whole amount, because we weren't sure when we were gonna get it. So it came right, like I said, just last week, so. And there should be another, once we make the other payment, we should be getting that money back as well also. So we should be making out pretty good after the first quarter.
I appreciate the explanation, and as noted with the 1,200 along with what came in from the Commonwealth, the total is $21,862.50 that we will be noting for this budget adjustment. Commissioner Spielvogel, any questions?
No,
Okay, are you okay with moving
Yes.
it forward for a
Yes,
vote
yes.
later in the meeting? I am as
Sure.
well. We'll make it number 353. Jeff, anything else on this matter?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, sir, we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Did you need this back?
Yes, can I please?
Sure.
I forwarded that to you.
Absolutely. Okay,
All
thank
righty,
you.
thank you.
Yes,
Have a good day, everybody.
You too, stay safe.
I will,
Yes.
you do the same.
absolutely.
We have a couple of transfers that are in resolution form. The first being under the Commissioner's line item. We need to transfer $719.64 from the salary of staff line item in the IT department to Commissioner's contracted services line item. This will pay for an invoice for the new web hosting, which will be known as lawrencecountypa.gov. That'll be going into effect sometime in the near future. Joe, anything else we need to know about this one?
No, I think you got it right. It is a new web, hosting company. And that's the total cost of it.
Thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel, any questions or
No.
concerns?
Nope.
We'll assign at number 354, assuming you have no objection. Thank you. Next, another proposed transfer, again, falling under the Commissioner's line item. This involves phone accounts for various offices in the courthouse structure. What we're doing is taking a total amount of $2,567.77 from the contracted assessment services. I hope I'm reading that correctly. Thank you. And it will be going then to the following departments for their phone budget line item: voters, the treasurer, information technology, the public defender, the district attorney, the prothonotary's office, the Veterans Affairs Office, and Central Court. They will each receive an allocation to make their budgets whole for their phone line items. Joe, anything else we need to know?
No, I think you got it, Commissioner.
Thank you. Loretta, concerns or questions?
No.
Thank you. We'll make it number 355. Next would be a transfer in the Information Technology Department. What we're looking at is a transfer of $196.42. Once again, the line item that we're taking it from is contracted assessment services. We'll put that same amount into the IT department's equipment maintenance and repair budget. Any concerns from either of you? Okay, then what we'll do is make it number 356. Thank you. We now have administrative transfers. There are quite a few of them, and what I'd like to do is I'll start going through them. Stop me if you have any concerns or questions, please.
Got it.
And Joe, if there's something you need to add, just please do so. The first is the district attorney's office. They are requesting a total transfer of $1,414, all of it going into equipment maintenance, excuse me, equipment maintenance. This is for the maintenance of their camera system at the Kraus building. Of that $1,414, $414 is coming from witness fees, and $1,000 is coming from their transcript line item. That's the first. Any questions on that one?
Can I ask a favor? Could you stop at Karen's office and give me a bottle of water? I have a tickle in my throat. Anybody else need a bottle of water?
Fine, thank you.
I apologize. I just had a little tickle in my throat. That's all it is. It's just a little I just need a little bit of water. I think everything will be fine. It's funny. I have to. I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to. Every so often, I'll hear Commissioner Boyd sneeze, and he'll quickly say, "It's not COVID." You've heard him say that, right?
Yes,
I hope
absolutely.
he doesn't mind that I told that
I'm
story
sure,
on him.
no, I'm sure he does not.
Okay. Thank you for
Yes,
your patience on this. I appreciate it. Usually I'll bring a glass of water with me, but,
Well, thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
Take your time.
we'll do a quick swig here.
Yes.
Much better. Thanks, Vanessa.
You're welcome.
The next proposed transfer comes from the courts. They're asking for a $2,000 transfer from the court's contingency into that of the contracted attorney line item. Again, that's $2,000. Also from the courts, they are asking for a $1,000 transfer from their contingency into that of their interpreter line item. And again, sticking with the courts, they are asking for a $2,700 transfer from their contingency line item into that of their telephone line item. The next request comes from District Judge Nicholson's office. It's a $500 transfer request from their postage line item into that of bank charges. They indicated that bank charges for credit cards have run higher than normal because of higher collection amounts of fines and costs in the last few months. Under the commissioners, under the CARES Act funding, we are taking the following amounts. Under the small business line item, the amount is $139,248.46. That is going into the county response line item. Under the nonprofit line item, we are taking $106,768.31 and also transferring that to the county response line item. And then finally, under the administrative line item, we're taking $94,346.36, and that's again going to the county response line item. The total amount of the requested transfer is $340,363.13. And this is to allow for payment of eligible salaries under the CARES Act and also payment for technology purchased for work at home capabilities. Loretta, any concerns?
No.
Thank you. Excuse me again. The planning office is asking for a $500 transfer from their materials and supplies line item into that of their telephone line item. Questions or concerns? Thank you. The jail is asking for a transfer of $3,004 from their grocery line item into that of their uniform line item, obviously for the corrections officers that have to wear the necessary uniform. Any concerns on this one? Thank you. The sheriff's office is asking for a $2,000 transfer from their materials and supply line item into that of maintenance and repair, excuse me. And the transfer is to cover end of year expenses, particularly for their InfoCon expenses. Any concerns from either of you?
No.
Thank you. The next one is the Register and Recorder's Office. It's a $1,000 transfer. And you've noticed we've been doing a lot of these for telephone. We did upgrade the phone system
Yes.
mid-year, and which did add some expenses. But under the Register and Recorder, they are taking it from their technology fund line item of $1,000 and putting that into their telephone line item. Next is the coroner. The coroner is requesting a $300 transfer. Now, what they've done here is they've done the line item number, the account number.
Right.
However, the document does not name the particular line item.
Right.
And,
I put it on the agenda if that helps.
It's on the agenda.
oh, I'm sorry. If I looked over there, I would find it. Let's see here.
It's letter N.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The first, it's coming from their office minor equipment line item into that of telephone. So thank you for catching that. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Any concerns now that we know what they're doing?
No.
Okay, thank you again. Next is the controller's office. Once again, this is to accommodate the new telephone system. The controller's office is asking for a $500 transfer from their maintenance and repairs line item into that of their telephone line item. Any concerns? Thank you. Juvenile probation, what they're doing is 2 transfers. All of it is coming from their vehicle expense line item. 225 of that is going into their telephone line item, and then 325 is going into their equipment lease rental line item. Any questions? Thank you. And I believe that concludes those requests A through Q on the agenda. Before I take a motion, Loretta, would you be willing to do a blanket motion to cover all of them?
Yes, I think that would be best.
Thank you. And before we do that, just before we move to do that, do either of you have any other questions or concerns about any of these?
No,
Hearing none, I thank you both.
absolutely.
I would entertain then a motion to approve the requested administrative transfers that are listed on the agenda, line item 8A up through and including line item Q.
So moved.
Thank you very much. I will second your motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Those transfers are now approved. We move on to take up the proposed resolutions that we've discussed already this morning. May I have, please, a motion to amend the agenda to allow us to consider proposed resolutions 350 up through and including 356.
So moved.
Thank you. I will second. Any discussion? All in favor of amending the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. The first proposed resolution, Mr. Micko was here for this one. This is a contract renewal with Vocational and Psychological Services of Butler, Pennsylvania. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I will second. Any concerns or discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Also, Mr. Micko brought forward a proposed contract renewal between Children and Youth Services with the Human Services Center based in Newcastle. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I will second. Comments or concerns? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 352 would allow us to enter into a professional agreement with McCutcheon Enterprises, Inc. of Apollo, Pennsylvania, and the county's Department of Public Safety. This is to allow McCutcheon Enterprises to serve as the Act 165 emergency response emergency contractor. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
I will second and see if there are any concerns or questions. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Mr. Parrish also submitted for our consideration Resolution 353, which is a budget amendment totaling $21,862.50. These dollars will be carried over into the 2021 budget, and this involves the Commonwealth's allocation towards hazard mitigation. Any concerns? And if not, may I have a motion for Resolution 353?
So moved.
I will second. Again, no comments or questions. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed Resolution 354, this is a budget transfer, as we discussed, $719.64 to cover our expenses for the new web hosting invoice that has come in for the county. Is there a motion for Resolution 354?
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? No? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 355. This will assist a number of offices with their additional phone expenses. What we're doing is we're taking $2,567.77 from contracted assessment services, and as noted, it will go to the offices of voter services, the treasurer, the IT department, the public defender's office, the district attorney's office, the prothonotary's office, the Veterans Affairs office, and the central court. Is there a motion for this resolution?
So moved.
I will second and see if anybody has any questions. If not, we'll do a roll call.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 356. Again, a budget transfer for the IT department in the amount of $196.42 coming from their contracted assessment services line item into that of IT equipment maintenance and repair. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I will second. Are there any concerns on this document? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under ordinances, we have, for purposes of introduction, this is proposed ordinance number 3. And I will note that this involves the redevelopment authority of the county to now act also as the Lawrence County Land Bank in accordance with provisions of Pennsylvania Act 33 of 2018. My understanding and recollection is that when the county created both the redevelopment authority and the land bank, they of course are two separate entities that in many respects do two separate things, have two different responsibilities. Shortly after this was done, the legislature passed a bill that the governor signed, and if I misstate any of this, correct me, that enables county redevelopment authorities to now have the same authority as a land bank. So basically what we're faced with is somewhat of a redundancy.
Right.
And our planning director, Amy McKinney, who serves as the director for both of these organizations, came to us and said, you know, you essentially can now eliminate the land bank and give that responsibility to the redevelopment authority, again, based upon the change in the state law. She has discussed this with the members of both of those boards, and there, from what I understand, there was a consensus to have us move forward in that direction.
Right.
So consequently, we will be today introducing this proposed ordinance, and according to the document that I have in front of me, it had been advertised legally as required on Monday, November 23 of this year. And it's listed here that we need to table this today and bring it back up on the 15th of December, a week from today, for final consideration. I will note that the proposed ordinance, the complete copy, is available in our office. Also, the Lawrence County Law Library and the Lawrence County Department of Planning and Community Development. If anybody would wish to see it, I'd simply recommend that you call any of these three offices and we can arrange to have that document made available. Loretta, have I overlooked anything?
No, that's basically what it is. Yes.
Okay. And likewise, Joe, anything I may have overlooked? Okay. What I'd like to do then is accept a motion to introduce this ordinance, and as part of that motion, then also table the ordinance until December 15th, if you're so willing.
Absolutely. So moved.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Spielvogel. I'll second your motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Well, as we noted, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, the board will be reconvening in a public format similar to this. It will be live streamed. It has been appropriately legally advertised. I saw the ad in the paper.
Yes.
And the purpose of that meeting at 2 o'clock will be to introduce the proposed 2021 budget. And as noted, we will be meeting again next week on the 15th at 10 o'clock. If I'm not mistaken, And Loretta, correct me if I'm wrong, or Joe, I believe, are they still, there is a planning commission meeting scheduled for tomorrow at noon?
Tomorrow.
Virtual,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
and that's been publicly advertised.
yes.
With that being said, let me ask Mr. Vanasco if he has received any emails or notices relative to public comment.
No, checking right now, no comments.
Thank you so much, Joe, I appreciate that. Commissioner Spielvogel, do you have any closing remarks or concerns before we wrap up?
I do not.
Well, thank you for your patience with me today. Mr. Boyd runs a little quicker than I do, but, well, we held it.
It was very well done,
Thank you.
very well done, as always.
Thank you very kindly. We did make it in under an hour, so
Yeah.
that's always good. And again, I thank you in advance for participating later
No, no
today in
problem.
that public safety meeting.
No
Thank you
problem.
for doing that.
Absolutely.
Joe, anything you think we've overlooked,
No, sir.
or Vanessa? Okay, for those of you who joined us today, we thank you for your interest in county government. And as Loretta noted, please stay safe and please be
Yes.
careful as we
Yes.
move forward. I will entertain an adjournment motion.
So moved.
Thank you much. I'll gladly second it. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Very good, thank you.
Oh, do you know how to?
I'll figure it out.
I'm
Because
sure.
I would break it if I tried it. I know it, I'd do something to it.
I don't think you would, I think it would be fine.